I'm just checking that everything's connecting okay. Hello from Arnprior. I'm just at the bottom of the farm, just walking up to the steading. So I'm just seeing if all my connections are working before we start the tour. Fingers crossed, because last time there was a wee bit of a hiccup. So I'll just walk up. I hope everyone's has a lovely day today. We've obviously got lots of sunshine here, as you can see from the nice blue sky. We're just getting lots of sheep and lambs out today. Perfect lambing conditions. So I'll just head up to where all the action's happening. Although saying that, a lot of our sheep are now starting to lamb outside. So I'll find where we're going to start. So thanks everyone who's tuning in. If you let me know where you're from today, and if you've got any questions, pop them in the comments, and we'll answer them if we can. So I hope everyone can hear me as well. I'll just pop in here to the lambing shed and then get ready to start our tour. So this is where all the action's happening. We've managed to hunt down Duncan today. He's just behind me there. Oh, hi everyone. So that's someone from Massachusetts, from Arbroath. We'll just move into the other side of the shed. Watching from Australia. Amazing. From Gatehouse. Hello. Oops, I can't get in here. Go in the other side here. So I'll just start the tour in a minute's time once we're good to go. It's a little bit darker in here, not so glary. Just got a sheep behind us there that's just lambed. Should we come up here? So here we go. I'm just seeing who else is watching. Hello from France, amazing. From Gargunnock, hello. Or you're from the Highlands.
Hello.
Hello, so I managed to track down...
I came out the hot tub for today.
So very tempting to sit in it later, but unfortunately we're still lambing. So welcome to our lambing shed. We've got sort of two main sheds here at Arnprior. For everyone that doesn't know Arnprior, we're based in West Stirlingshire, so we're just along the road from Old Lecky Farm and the other side of Duncan Family Farms, which you'll have watched on Lambathon. We've got a lovely view of the Trossachs Hills. We're also half an hour from Glasgow, 40 minutes from Edinburgh, and not far from Loch Lomond. So we really are in a fantastic setting for being close to amenities, but also very much in the beautiful countryside of Scotland. Do you want to tell everyone a little bit about our farm?
Yeah, so we have about 1,400 ewes this year. We started lambing on the 1st of April, and today's the last day of the first cycle of the ewes in the indoor lambing flock. So as of tomorrow, all the ewes that haven't lambed inside will be going out to grass, and they'll be joining the cheviots and the hogs who are already lambing outside. So basically we've got down to numbers now that don't justify having somebody watching them at night, and the weather's been improved dramatically the last couple of days, so we're pretty confident we can get them outside and lamb them down out in the nice grass field. I know the
atmosphere's kind of gone, hasn't it, in the shed?
It's not quite as busy as it was.
So when we did our lambing live with the Lambathon back in, I think it was the 6th of April, whenever it was back at beginning of April, we had about 1,000 sheep lambing inside.
Yep.
So there was lots of action, lots of sheep lambing per day, and now I think we've got under 150 lambing inside now, and everyone else is lambing outside. So we've got our cheviots lambing outside and our hogs.
Yeah, so they started on the 15th, and so far so good. The weather's been pretty kind, a wee bit cold first thing in the morning and last thing at night, but the lambs are and the ewes are handling it fine. So we're fingers crossed for weather like this. This is near enough perfect lambing weather, nice and warm and sunny, and during the day, and no rain forecast. There might be a wee bit tomorrow, but nothing too serious.
So what we're doing today is, obviously we've still got our remaining sheep behind us here that are left to lamb, and once they've lambed, I'll show you where they then go to sort of care for the lambs for the next day. But we've also got lots of lambs in here that are going outside today, so we've got about 100 sheep ready to go out to grass. So we'll show you a little bit of that today. Duncan's just getting them all ready there. You can see them lined up in the rapid gates to go on the quad bike trailer out to the grass. A short trip. So we'll be able to take you out to the field. I'll walk down to the field, Duncan will drive down. So at Arnprior Farm, this time of year, if it was a non-COVID year, we would do our lambing experiences. We've been running them for over 6 years, where you can come onto the farm, experience a little bit of lambing, and that's something that we do. What we'll do is we'll take you down to actually some of the sheep. We've had a couple of newborns this morning. What I'll do...
If anybody's got any questions would like to ask, please just fire away. We're more than happy to answer anything that you want answering. So
I'll just turn it around here and I'll give you a quick tour of the sheep. So let's have a look who we can see here. So sorry about that. So you can see this girl here has orange on her back. We know how many the sheep are having because in January we get them scanned. So we know that we put an orange dot on the ones that are having singles. The ones that are having twins have nothing on them, and then, so that's a twin there, she just lambed about half an hour ago. And then the ones that have turquoise, so that girl there is actually having quads. So she's got 2 turquoise dots. There's a runaway lamb sitting on top of the silage. The ones that have 1 turquoise dot, they're having triplets. So she's starting to clean now. You can see her cleaning come. These wee guys, as I said, were born about 20 minutes ago, so it's good to see them on their feet. We want the lambs to be standing within about really 15 to 20 minutes, get a good suck of colostrum, and that will give them a good outlook for life. It's so important, colostrum, that they get it, because it's what gives them everything they need. So it's quite funny not having the same atmosphere in here with the many sheep we've been lambing. But we'll see if anything. I think there's somebody in the corner that decided to lamb as well. So these big metal boxes here, they're full of feeding. I'll quickly see if I can open this one here. Oh, we can peek inside there. That's their barley and oats and mineral mix. That's what they can help themselves to. So that's ablib. We also have silage there, which we make on the farm every June. So they are tucking into the silage. Something else they have is treacle and the mineral blocks. There's a single. She just lambs, so she's getting ready to get penned up, and I'll take you to where everything's getting penned up. Oops. So I'll try not to. I'm climbing over hurdles here. I'll just quickly zoom along here and see what's happening. So Duncan's just gathering all the I think there's mostly twins we're putting out from that communal. So 2 number 91s.
Please don't film me trying to catch lambs. I'll take the mickey out.
There's nothing worse than a sheep taking the mickey for an audience. Anyway, so these are just going onto the trailer. So obviously now we've got number 91 lamb. We will find the mums. So once they've lambed, as I was talking about, they come into this area here. So we've set up individual pens where everybody lambs. Everybody goes once they've lambed, and actually quite a few of these are marked to go out in the field tomorrow. I'll find one that was born. Here's some triplets. These triplets were born last night. So what we write on these discs here, we know that they were born last night, there's triplets, and I've milked and fed the ewe, and at 10 a.m. this morning they were full. So, so that's a perfect mum. She's done everything right. The lambs are all doing really well, and we sort of watch them here and take care of them. Once they have been here for about a day, it's been a really quick turnaround this year actually, because we've had so many more sheep lambing inside. We've had to, quickly get them, all ready for sort of going out to the field, because the turnaround of pens is much quicker. So usually they've maybe been here for about 2 days, but this year we've really wanted them to be in for a day, and then they go to the sort of little playgroundy bit, which I'll show you now. So the other side of the yard we have what we call the communal, and this is what again is a sort of playground area. It's where they all sort of bond with each other before they go out to the field, so they get to know the scent and the scent and the sort of sound, I suppose, of the mum, and it's so they can sort of have time together before they are out in the field. Once they're out in the field, they can also, once they're out in the field, they're also checked a lot, every few hours really, because you just always check your outside stock. So in the morning, at lunchtime, and then at night time, tea time. So what we'll do here, we'll get sort of, Duncan's getting everyone in there. See if there's any questions. Oh, thank you, Fiona. Looks great. It's lovely to see them in the fields. Absolutely, it's lovely to see them have races and skip about. So how many have we got in here? How many have we taking out here? Just three. Are you ready to take them?
Just in a minute,
yeah. Okay, that's fine. So the sheep we're using here, the sheep we have are, Duncan, it's mostly Aberfields. Mostly Aberfields, yeah.
So yeah, the majority of the sheep we have, or the ewes we have, are Aberfield crosses, which we breed ourselves, and we buy in a few from other farms every year as well. So we have about 340 hogs this year, so they'll become part of the breeding flock next year. So we keep the ewes for between 5 and 6 years in total.
So shall I start to walk down? I'm just showing everybody the area here, which we lamb in, so it's quite sunny there. So as I was saying, when people come and do their lambing tours here on the farm, what they have a chance to do is hopefully see a lamb being born. So I'm sort of really glary there. See a lamb being born, as well as a chance to learn about all the husbandry of keeping sheep. So whether it be keeping their beds clean with straw, as well as feeding them the silage, the barley, and then most importantly, making sure their buckets are full of water. All these sort of basic things that as farmers we all take for granted, but it's important for everyone to know of all the care that goes into keeping the sheep when they're in the sheds. We also let them see what care we do to the lambs when they're born, like iodining their navels, as well as giving them sort of the wee probiotic that we give them at the start of once they're born.
It's something that I'll probably speak for myself, or both of us I should say. I missed having people on the farm the last two springs lambing time. It's actually become something that we both really enjoy hosting. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of farmers think we're mad bringing the general public onto the farm at such a busy time of year, but I think we enjoy showing people exactly what we do and all the practices that we do with the sheep to make sure that their welfare is at a really high standard. And it's just great. Some of the questions we get asked in the days are brilliant, and some of them we still chuckle about to this day. So it's so hopefully next year, when after all the restrictions have been lifted, that we'll be able to run them again.
I know. And it's actually quite a good opportunity to mention about the Go Rural competition that they're running at the moment. So if you enter the competition on the Go Rural page, you get the chance to win a chance to visit a farm and farm tours, and I know the one for Newton Farm Holidays finishes on Monday. So if you are interested in visiting a farm and winning it in a competition, it's worth going on to the Go Rural page and entering our competition.
I've got 2 mums or 2 yows to go and get the right numbers out the pen, and then I think we're good to go.
So shall I start walking down to the field?
If you want to fill for 30 seconds.
So where are we going? Just at the top of the car park? Okay, so I'll quickly walk down here, and I can answer any questions. I'll just have a quick scroll through if anyone has any questions. Let's have a look. I'll have a quick look here before. I don't think I can walk and talk. Do you get watery mouth or do you treat for it? I don't think we've had any this year, which is good. It's always a sort of thing that you always look out for. We haven't had any, but I know in previous years we have had. The shed before lambing starts is completely disinfected down. All the hurdles are disinfected every year, so everything from the buckets to the hurdles to the walls of the shed, the floors are all thoroughly disinfected before we bring the next lot of sheep in for the next year. Let's have a quick look. So it's not the nicest backdrop. I'll get a nice view in a minute. We turn it around and you'll see the lovely hills. So this year it's very much a family effort. Myself and Duncan, his dad Duncan, and Anne, his mum, we all sort of run the sort of lambing shed at various times of the day. It's watched 24 hours a day. Also our 3 kids, Duncan, Florrie and Erin. And then importantly we have our vet students that help us. They actually left 2-3 days ago. We had 2 vet students helping at night, a few vet students helping during the day, as well as some high school students that were applying to be for university. They're applying this year to vet school, so we're very much hands-on, and we couldn't have done it without them this year because we had such sort of an intense boom of lambing over the last few weeks. So I'll just change it to a prettier view. So this is a view from our farm. We've got beautiful, so excuse the sprayer and the polytunnels, but the backdrop is stunning with all the lovely mountains. We've got Ben Lomond in the background there, past the Green Merlot, and then all the other hills. And I have to be totally honest, I'm very bad and I don't think I could name them all. I know Ben Leddy is there. So this is where we also host our pumpkins, which I'll talk about in a minute. Hello from Missouri, would love to visit, love Scotland. Oh, it's very pretty, especially when the sun is shining. And I think the great thing about being part of the Go Rural group that we're all part of in the Lambathon is that you get to see what so many farms are doing around Scotland, and for farmers it's such a support network having Go Rural, and it's a really valuable thing to be part of. So these 3 polytunnels here, I'll just do a little bit of filling while Duncan arrives. We put them up originally for doing our pumpkin festival in. We started with polytunnel 1 there. So not only do they house all our pumpkin festivities, they are also where the sheep are housed from January when we bring them in before lambing, and Duncan has them on all the sort of right food, nutrients, because the grass is always a little bit slow to grow in Stirlingshire. Do you keep triplets with this ewe, or do you just try and foster on? So that's a really good question. Here's Dunk's coming there. So as far as keeping triplets, we don't let a ewe run with triplets purely because we find that the lamb may be doing really well the first couple of weeks, but after that you always find that one maybe doesn't do as well, so that makes us take the 3rd lamb off before they go out to the field. So because we've got singles lambing, we always try and to foster on a triplet to a single. We've also got quite a few pet lambs this year because we had so many triplets scanned. So we have a Volac milk machine, which is definitely a lifesaver to make sure that all the pet lambs are fed well. But yes, we do get triplets mothered. Triplets twinned off to singles. You okay? I'll face this way now.
Okay. So I've rather daringly selected 3 gimmers, so first time mums to put out. We'll see how this goes. I'm hoping that when I let the back door of the trailer down they don't run away, but I'm sure it'll all be sorted out eventually.
So yeah, so when everything's turned out, you check them a few times a day, don't you? And then obviously, so if anyone is mismothered tonight, they can be mothered up again. And we obviously know this with the numbers on the side of the sheep or letters, just depending. So hopefully it's not too noisy there. Actually, I'll turn this around. Oops, sorry, turn it around here. Here we go. There we go, I'll just go closer to these guys. Your mum's behind you. There's always one. If you know, you know. Number 44, come on. So the grass has grown quite a bit as well, so it feels good to get them outside, doesn't it?
Yeah, lovely. This is one of my favourite jobs of the year, is getting them back out to grass. I'll just try and get this mum. Too busy eating.
Someone's saying you have nice grass. You like... Too many Dawkins. I think you're a bit of a soil and grass pervert, aren't you? As in you like your
in the nicest possible way, yeah.
Yes. That's his thing. Is we just need the weather. I think it's all to do with the weather, isn't it? So no, it's nice to see them. So this will. It's amazing now how they totally start to grow like little mushrooms, isn't it, once they're out in grass?
No. The difference between the lambs that were born in the first couple of days to the newborn ones is quite unbelievable when you see what 17 days does. We're pretty fortunate we've managed to have plenty of grass to turn the ewes and lambs out onto. So, and the ewes are producing loads of milk, so the lambs are fairly growing, shall we say. So
when you were driving down, I was trying to sort of point out the mountains, and was quite embarrassingly quite bad after living here for over 15 years. So
that's to tell you again.
No, that's Ben Lomond over there, and so in that direction you've got. So that's towards like Loch Lomond. So you've got a few Go Rural farms over there, including Duncan Family Farms and Lennox of Lomond and Portnellan, and then sort of going. So what's ahead of us there? Is that Ben Leddy? Is that Ben Leddy's there? And then Stirling is in this direction here. So Stirling is about 15 miles along there, along with 12. What do you call it? With Old Lecky, Alison and Fergus, they have all their chooks and sheep and pigs, and worth checking out. So what we also do here at Arnprior, I'll just get a background other than our sheep, other than fertilizer bags. We're so professional. So what we also do here at Arnprior, if you hadn't seen our last Lambathon, is we have 4 glamping pods. So they're all sort of very uniquely sort of designed with a lot of Scottish artists and people in mind. We then have our
4 working hot tubs.
4 working hot tubs, not getting tested today. And then we have our eco swimming pool, which is fueled by our biomass. You can say a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we have a biomass boiler which burns wood chip, which generates heat. So this heat we use, we heat our farmhouse, we heat my mum and dad's house, and we also heat 2 of our neighbours' houses as well. We also dry the grain at harvest time with it. So because of the climate we have here, quite often the grain is too damp to store without it going mouldy. So we use the hot water from that, and basically it's basically a big radiator, and it turns the hot water into hot air, and that gets blown through the grain, and it dries out the grain. the heat that we don't use for all of that, we use to heat our swimming pool. So it's been open for 18 months now, and as well as being able to be hired by the general public, it's also available for the Glamping Pods users, and we also run a small swim school from it as well.
So that's hopefully opening back on the 26th of April along with our Glamping Pods,
Yep.
hopefully. But that also, the first sort of big diversification we did on the farm, should we walk over now?
Yep.
Do you want to hold it?
Yep, okay.
The first diversification we did was the pumpkins. So this is
Yes.
the idea behind that.
It all started as a bit of a joke, to be honest. Are we going to hop this electric fence?
I'll go this way just in case.
We started off with 0.1 of an acre in the first year, and that grew to 1 acre, then to 2, then to 4, then to 6, and we're it's become quite a main part of our business. It's a very, very fun thing to do. It's great having plenty of folk onto the farm to come and pick their pumpkins. It's turned into a week and a festival. Probably not what we had in mind initially, but
should we hop over there?
Yeah. Where have you got them?
I've got them at the top
okay.
there.
So it's starts in the second week of October.
Yes, I think this year we're starting on the 11th,
Yeah.
I think. So tickets usually go on sale for that in August. We decided to ticket it after having a little bit of a sort of traffic jam. I think that must have been on sort of year 3. It became a sort of safer event, and how it grew sort of made us
I'll let you climb.
ticket it. So just go to the top here. So shall we turn it around?
Yeah, let you.
So this, in a few months' time, I'll just turn it around here, will be our pumpkin patch. It doesn't look very exciting right now. I don't know, what have you been busy doing to it? Oh gosh.
It's had a small coating of dung and not much else so far.
So once people, where we were just talking before, that's where people park their car, and then this area here will all get ploughed in probably the next month, 2 months, and then in sort of May, June time, that's when we start planting out the pumpkin plants. But quickly I'll show you what my next few weeks are going to be filled with.
Hold this.
Yeah, I hope it's not too windy and you can hear me okay. So just to sort of show you an example, we have hundreds and hundreds of these trays here, filled up with compost and lots of lovely pumpkin seeds. So we have quite a few different varieties. I don't think we have cracked it with the variety yet for sort of Stirlingshire. Every year we sort of change about what we're doing. We have abandoned a few varieties for this year. We've added on a few different ones. So it is still trial and error, even though we have been doing it for 6 years. So basically the kids and I, and sometimes a few friends, we just spend our days, and Anne and I should say.
It's very scientific, this.
I know, just going pop, 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 and then it's basically hand planting every single seed, and that's what we do for the next sort of couple of weeks.
So if you come to Arnprior Pumpkins and get a pumpkin, you can guarantee it has been hand planted.
And hopefully not being stolen by a little mouse like 2020 was. It seemed to be the year of the pumpkin munching mice lovers. So yeah, we grow quite a few pumpkins, so we've got quite a few trees to fill. So once these have germinated in our greenhouse and polytunnel, so we don't use the polytunnels down on the farm here, we actually use polytunnels closer to home, to our farmhouse.
You missed one.
Where?
I'm just joking.
Alright. And obviously I've got the whole tree to do. We don't use the polytunnels behind me to actually grow the pumpkins in. They are grown in the polytunnels just by our house. Because it's such a sort of precious crop, we monitor it closely in the month of May.
I've just been asked, why don't we plant directly into the field?
You're the farmer?
Right.
We'll turn it round. So
basically we don't do that because of the short growing season we have here, so we need to get them established in the greenhouse first and get them, basically our last frost is too late, potentially, so we try and plant them out onto the field the last week of May, in the first week of June. Well, that's weather permitting, of course.
I know there was one year in June we planted, we'd just been to Gorgonic show, and then it was just, do you remember the wind?
Yeah, no, so I think the weather had been quite broken, and I'll turn around and make the background a bit nicer than the castle shed. The weather had been quite broken, and the soil was quite damp, and we couldn't get on, and the plants had got quite leggy, quite stemmy in the greenhouse, purely because we had no way of really slowing them down. And we planted them out, and the next day there was a rather strong wind, and the poor wee pumpkin plants literally got helicoptered off, literally spun round, and a lot of the stems snapped, which was rather galling after hand planting them at the time.
There's actually been a little drama every year, hasn't there?
Pumpkin growing isn't for the faint-hearted in Stirlingshire.
It's like an emotional roller coaster from planting them in May, but worth it once October comes and when everyone comes. And actually, that was another reason that made us look into accommodation on the farm. When people were coming to visit the pumpkins, they also asked what other things we do on the farm. So that's when we created the lambing experience, and then eventually we did accommodation. So it's all sort of every little agritourism business is fed out from the other, hasn't it? Yeah. But no, we're very lucky to be sort of having a lovely day today to show it off in the best light. So I think that's everything that we do here, isn't it?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. So we will continue putting some sheep out this afternoon. But thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. It's been really nice showing you everything we do, and it's a little bit different from last Lambathon. We obviously showed off our swimming pool and our pods on our first Lambathon, and then today we've concentrated more on the sort of sheep outdoors and our little pumpkin festival goings-ons. So we also have a Facebook page, which is Arnprior Farm, and an Instagram page which we're doing daily videos on, just of everything we do here. And if you're interested in staying, our website's arnpriorfarm.com. And if you're looking for pumpkin tickets, if you check out our Facebook page in August, that should be the place to find them. But remember to look at the competition as well on the Go Rural page, because it closes on Monday. And do you have anything else to say?
If you've got any questions, if there's anything that Rebecca's forgotten to tell you about the sheep, just send us a message and we'll answer it later on. And I hope you've enjoyed watching this and seeing what we do here.
Thank you very much.
Okay, bye guys.
We'll find the finish button. Thanks then, bye bye.